Good morning, everyone. We will begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama for protection and the permission to participate today in the divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku prayer. Please stand. Takahama ni kamusumarimasu. Kamuragi kakoto mochite. Sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no gimuka no tachi hana no. Odono awagi hala ni misogi harai tamo utoki ni narimaseru. Araido no o kamitachi moro moro no magakoto tsumi kegare o arai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sunkoto no yoshio amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya o yorozu no kamitachi tomoni Ame no fuji koma no mimi furi tatete kikoshi meseto kashiko mi maosu miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae Oshie mi oya nushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie mi oya nushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Kannagara tamachi hae mase. Kannagara tamachi hae mase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive Group Johrei. May God and Meishu-sama bless you. Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Humanity's mission. God gave us life, precious life. Let us respect and treasure it by living in harmony with God's divine law. Every soul is an individual part of God's total self. Let us cleanse our souls and restore them to their divine nature. One who is aware of how precious and priceless life is realizes God's divine nature within, our true spiritual essence. A human being, often called a child of God, is also referred to as God's temple. This is because a person's soul, the center of his or her being, is an individualized part of God that has come to earth with a mission assigned by God. This soul is also referred to as the primary spirit. After birth, another spirit, which is animalistic in nature, enters the body. It is called the secondary spirit. Since the primary spirit is divine in nature, it is the center of spiritual consciousness. The secondary spirit is the exact opposite, the source of all negative ideas. There is yet another spirit in contact with all individual. It is the guardian spirit. In Japan, it is selected from among the individual's ancestors at birth. From the spiritual realm, it protects and guides the person in its charge. The secondary spirit encourages the person to act wrongfully, while the guardian spirit tries to guide the person to do virtuous deeds. But above both of these is the primary spirit, which instructs the person to do only good and virtuous acts. Therefore, it is important to strengthen the power of one's primary spirit. This power is fundamental to the conquering of negativity. Each person should strive always to strengthen their primary spirit. The best way to achieve this is to pray to God and deepen one's faith. This is the only path to attain true happiness. Thank you very much for attending this morning service. And also pray for all those who are going through so much purification. Pray for our ancestors, and also we pray for world peace. As this time of the year, May, is preparation for Paradise on Earth service. This is one of the most important time in our calendar of our organization. A brief explanation about this Paradise on Earth service is that June 15 is the most important date for our church. It was at dawn on the 15th of June, 1931, that Meishu-sama, he climbed the top of the Mount Nokogiri in Chiba Prefecture, Japan, accompanied by 28 followers. Facing the sun, which was beginning to rise, he chanted the Amatsu-Norito prayer, and he received the great revelation concerning the transition of the daylight, of the age of night into the daylight age. It was through this revelation that God's divine will in relation to our church and our individual mission as Johrei members was clarified. Beginning in 1931, little by little, the divine light began to shine ever more brilliantly in the spiritual realm. And because its reflection in the material world, construction of Paradise on Earth was initiated. However, it was not until the inauguration of the Hakone Sacred Grounds on June 15, 1953, that Meishu-sama began celebrating the birth of paradise on earth. And the birth of paradise on earth every June 15. Because of that, we every time during this month we celebrate. That's when we have our Paradise on Earth service. Here at the headquarters will be on June 5th, Sunday, 11 a.m. This is our national Paradise on Earth celebration. And also in many other Johrei centers, they will be also celebrating Paradise on Earth. On June 15, the day when Meishu-sama received the revelation, there will be a prayer also. But June 5th, Sunday, 11 a.m., here at the headquarters, we will be celebrating this special event, special service. That will be also for those who cannot be here. We will also be broadcasting through our Miroku TV, YouTube, and also Facebook. Paradise on Earth. It is so important to leave paradise, but always to leave paradise, we need to begin to practice, to do something, to be useful, so that we can feel the light of God in our lives. Many people experiences miracles after they begin to serve. I remember listening to Carmen Faith Experience. She has been a member for many years, since 2016, and currently she gives service as a family assistant, in addition to other dedication at her Johrei Center. But due to COVID-19 pandemic in March of last year, her husband's salary was reduced by 50%. And many people, they suffered the same situation during this time of pandemic. In order to help with the home income, Carmen had the idea of sewing masks for sale, as well as donating them to elderly people who had no financial resources. So Carmen, she began to promote her services to acquaintances, and she quickly started looking for people started to look for her to buy her masks. So we started to be successful in selling those masks. And in April, a young woman went to her house in search of those masks. Very distressed, she reported that she was terrified because of the pandemic, a situation that was getting worse, as she suffered from panic and depression syndromes. So Carmen immediately talked to her about the power of Johrei and prayer, and Carmen asked her if she would like to receive Johrei, and she accepted. Carmen began to channel Johrei daily in her house, taking all the necessary care, wearing a mask, and keeping the proper social distance during the channeling, all that she did. So Carmen suggested for this girl, for her to watch our daily online services and began to share the teachings of the day so that she could receive Johrei through her eyes also. So with these practices, this girl, she got better every day, began to sleep much better, and currently no longer feels anxiety or panic attack. What a miracle. And she continues to attend our services online and has been telling others about Johrei in our church. So during this period, Carmen had the opportunity to follow up on other people with Johrei. Not only that girl, those people who also felt improvement with their purifications. So through serving others, many blessings have come into Carmen's family. Many. She was blessed to sell many masks, which helped a lot with her household expenses. She was able to rent a small commercial space, which she owns, which had been occupied for 6 months, unoccupied. Nobody was there, so she made it to rent that space. And in addition, still in 2020, her husband returned to receiving his salary in full. Not even once Carmen failed to materialize her donation, her monetary offerings of gratitude. And not even once she failed to carry out our practices of faith in her home. In this way, she was able to overcome this phase of uncertainty caused by the pandemic with security and tranquility. Carmen is now very grateful to God, Meishu-sama, for the protection received and the permission to dedicate in this wonderful divine work. And she has a commitment to continue showing the way of salvation to the greatest number of people, trying to make them useful in the realization of paradise on earth. Paradise on earth is coming soon on June 5th. With this, I'd like to thank you all very much for attending this morning service. And today at 6 p.m., we'll have our evening service. And I wish to meet you again. Thank you very much. And this brings to a conclusion this morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us. We wish you a very blessed day. Thank you.